What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full best synergy team. Right, leave those theme team suggestions in the comment section below. The highest thumb up comment will be the winner, or you may be picked for a Mystery Monday. Now, this team was pretty cool. I used some of the more different Pokemon with the abilities that work really nicely together. So basically I could keep swapping them in all the time, and I could just keep sponging the moves basically. It was quite a fun team to use. Alright, I'm having we got a double battle in this one too. So get some popcorn, sit back and relax. These battles were done on my chat too. If you want to battle me, I am there taking battles each day. Alright, this was a really interesting battle. I'll get right into this one. This was against Thalaco on my chat. I probably butchered your username, but that's how it is. Alright, so we have a semi-poor lead here. I'm going to go for the Thunder Punch there on my physical Heatmore. Now, I went for the Sucker Punch there to finish off. However, it's going to go for the Mud Sport, which is really cool. That powers down electric moves by 50%. Now the Simport is going to go for the Roleplay and copy my Flash Fire, so it's going to get rid of its Torrent and give itself Flash Fire. Not that I was going to use a Fire move on it anyway, but it would have been, it would have been funny if that did happen. Alright, so that Mud Sport really definitely powers down the damage on the Thunder Punch there. Now, Swanna is going to come in. I just went for a low kick there to try and take out the Simipour. Now, Swanna actually is 4 times weak to electric. Now, it's also going to have a berry to power that down, as well as the Mud Sport, so it actually does nothing, and that's the Waken berry there. Alright, so I'm going to get Hurricane there. That is over half my health, and I get confused too. Alright, so since the Waken berry is out the way, I didn't even mean to make that pun. I'm going to go for the Thunder Punch here. It's not going to take it out because the Mud Sport is on the field. Now, that actually lasts for 5 turns as well. Very interesting move. You don't really see that one being used too often. Okay, anyways, so the Mud Sport has gone now, which is good. I'm going to send out my Seeking. Now, this is a special Seeking with Lightning Rod. The Heatmore was a Flash Fire. So I didn't really get to use my abilities so well in this game. This was actually they must be running like a certain theme team or a theme style or whatever it was. I'll get to you in a second. I won't spoil what it was. Anyway, so on this set, I've got Hydro Pump, Blizzard, I've got Signal Beam, and I've got the mighty Savage Spin Out on the Signal Beam. It's so powerful. Unfortunately, Swanner actually was able to rest off there and get some health back. And let's face it, I probably wouldn't have killed it anyway. Alright, so I really didn't have much to kill this thing. I think Blizzard was my best thing to actually kill this. Alright, so I'm going to Hurricane again and get confused again. With the rain up too, that's making Hurricane 100% accuracy. Alright, so I get past that and go for the Blizzard here. And do pretty good damage there for a Seeking. Okay, so there isn't a lot I can do to this Swanna. Now the Walrein is going to come out probably expecting the Blizzard here. I swapped out too because I wasn't really doing too much damage. Now I had Rotom here, which was very strong against this team. However, I didn't really want to waste it earlier on in the game, so I just went for the Volt Switch there. I've got a Specs on this set. I've got Volt Switch, I've got Thunder on this, I've got Trick, and I've got Ominous Wind there, so I'm trying to go for those Ominous Wind boosts there. Alright, so Walrein is going to go for the Yawn on my Lantern. This is a Water Absorb Lantern instead of a Volt Absorb one, so I ran the Seeking with the Lightning Rod instead. And most of the time, 100% of the time, you expect Lantern to have Volt Absorb, so it's quite funny when you can swap it into Water type moves. Alright, so Kingler is going to come out. I'm going to go to sleep. Instead of swapping out, I thought I'd do that because obviously they clearly wanted me to swap out there. I thought I might be able to use my Lantern a little bit later on in the game. Alright, so it's going to get paralyzed here. This was actually a special Kingler, which didn't surprise me, seeing some of these other sets. I'm going to go for the Woodhammer on Maractus, running a physical set on this one, and that's going to take that one out. Now, this was a Aquave Berry to heal it up in just a pinch when it got very low health. And I also had on this Sucker Punch, Drain Punch, had Acupressure as well, so it was just a sweeper. Alright, so going for the Sucker Punch there, I'm going to get Aero Ace by the physical Masquerain. That's going to take me out there. I think I was running max attack and max speed on this, so I didn't really have any bulk there at all. Alright, so this is pretty cool. So I just went for Volt Switch here again. The Masquerain is going to go for the Endure here. As soon as I seen Endure, I'm like, okay, it's probably going to have Weakness Policy, which is going to be pretty funny. Okay, so it's going to live there, and I'm going to go back out, which really worked well against my Rotom there. Okay, so I'm going to automatically swap out here. Now, I've got my Seeking here. I thought that'd be a decent swapping because it's fairly bulky. I've got max health on it. Now, Masquerain is going to go for the Fell Stinger here, which is going to be stabbed, and I just tanked that one. If it actually took me out, then it would have had a +4 in attack, and that would have been dangerous. So I just take that one and take it out there. I think I took that out with the Signal Bear. Alright, so we have the Simipour coming out again. I was guessing I was going to use Mud Sport because this team, as you can see, is all mono water type team. Unfortunately, my Lantern didn't have any electric type moves. The really only Pokemon that was really strong against this was the Rotom. Okay, so on this Seeking set, I think I had, the last move I had on was Hidden Power Grass. I'm not going to be able to, I almost swapped into Lantern there, but I thought, nah, I won't do it in case it has some, like, a really annoying move. I know it commonly runs Switcheroo, and I wasn't sure what moves it was running. Okay, so bringing in Rotom here. I wasn't sure that I could outspeed, so I just did a double swap there into Lantern, hoping it went for just a water type move. However, it's going to go for a Switcheroo, and I wasn't sure what to expect here. I actually got a Flame Orb there, which was pretty cool, because with Float Cell's water availability, it's not going to get burned, right? Alright, so it's going to set up the Aqua Ring there, which was interesting. I'm just going to fall asleep. I wasn't really worried about anything this could do to me. I was... it didn't have many moves to hit me with outside of something like Crunch or something. Anyways, I'm just going to be sleeping here still. I've got this set. I've got a Whirlpool set. I've got Confuse Ray. I've got Thunder Wave. And I've got Aqua Ring myself with the leftovers. Just a real trolley bulky set. Alright, so going for the Thunder Wave here on the Walrein swapping in there. I was hoping this thing didn't have rest because that'd be a real pain in the butt. Okay, so I'm going to get burned by the Flame Orb there too. Now, going for the Confuse Ray here to get the Parafusion up, and the Whirlpool is the final step of this. So they hit themselves with Confusion, or they just don't move, and then they get trapped in with the Whirlpool, and it does continuous damage to them too. I like Whirlpool. It's quite a fun move to use. Its accuracy can be very shaky sometimes too. Alright, so going for the Whirlpool there on the Walrein. So I've got basically I'm all set up here except for the Aqua Ring. Okay, so it's going to be a physical set. It's going to go for the Bulldoze there. It does fairly good damage there considering what EVs are running and what attack that Walrein probably has. So I've got the burn there, and I've got the Whirlpool still going. Now, I know that I've got the Parahax up, so I'm probably going to be out at speed at the next turn. It's going to need a couple of Bulldozers to outspeed me. So I'm going to set up the Aqua Ring here. It's going to snap out of Confusion and get a second Bulldoze off there. So it's starting to do a fair amount of damage to me. I don't have my leftovers anymore, so I'm just going to recover a little bit there with the Aqua Ring. However, the Flame Orb is going to take most of that away. So thinking I could easily swap into Rotom here because I've got Levitate. This thing is on its last legs. Nothing is going to want to swap into a Volt Switch at all, so that's what I decided to do. And I might be able to use Lantern a little bit later on. Okay, so swapping it in, I'm going to take that Bulldoze with the Levitate ability, and here I can simply go for the Volt Switch here. Okay, and that's the Walrein down. Alright, so we've got the Swanna and the Float Cell left. I've got 3 Pokemon left as well. Alright, so my last Pokemon is the Miltank here. This is my Toxic Orb Facade set with Ice Punch and Earthquake and Sap Sipper, which works really nicely in this team to cover for the Lantern. Alright, so going for Facade right off the bat there. It actually is fairly bulky, and it's going to go for Bulk Up. So I can see where it's got the Aqua Ring, and it's got leftovers as well. So it's a bulky Float Cell, which is pretty cool. Okay, so there's not much point. I could go for Power Up Punch here, but I thought, I might as well get some. I might as well just get some damage on the thing. Unless it's got something weird like Rest or something, I'm not really sure. Anyway, so it's going to go for the Waterfall here again. It's got one Bulk Up, but Miltank is has very nice base defense there, so I'm going to take that one rather well. I've got on this, I've got Jolly Nature, Max Speed, and Max Attack. Worked very nicely there. Okay, so going for the Facade, and that's going to be enough to take out the Float Cell there. So the last Pokemon is the Swanna. And now this is pretty funny. So I was like, okay, I'm just going for the Facade here to finish off the Swanna. And I actually misclicked here and went for the Ice Punch. I was like, oh, crap, this is not going to be able to actually take it out. Then I get a Freeze Axe. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. That was the best misclick ever. And then it thaws out instantly, and it's going to set up the Tailwind, which is going to be able to outspeed me the next turn. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the Poison here. So that was, well, that sucked. So the last two Pokemon I've got is the Rotom. Now, I don't want to swap in Rotom yet because I'm going to get outsped. So I've got my Lantern. I need to somehow get rid of the Tailwind and then swap it in later. Okay, so I know that I can resist Hurricane very nicely there. I just wanted to get the Thunder Wave off on this thing so I could make it slower than my Rotom. Okay, so I've got the Power Hacks up, which is good. And here I can just simply go for Waterfall or Confuse Ray. Alright, so it's going to get Confused this turn, which is good. And Whirlpool's going to miss. Of course it does. Whirlpool does that a lot. Like, you get the Power Hacks out right, but then Whirlpool miss the next turn. Because it does have pretty shoddy accuracy. Okay, so I'm going to get nearly taken out by the Hurricane there. I get the Whirlpool off and just get a little bit of damage on the Swannon. Not that it matters too much. Oh my god, that crit was such a huge damage crit there. Anyway, so my Lantern's going to go down to the Flame Orb. The last Pokemon I've got is the Rotom, just normal Rotom. Here I can just go for any electric type move and take out the Swanna there. But a really cool team there, like a mono water type team and some really interesting sets there. I hope you guys enjoyed this first battle I did. Some of those sets were really, really cool. Okay, so the second battle I have is against Tills. This one was on my chat as well. This was a rather momentous battle. I'll get to that in a sec. So we have a leading Aggron here. Now I'm leading with my Rotom again. So I thought, bugger it, let's go for Trick and give this thing a choice specs. I'm sure it's really going to love that item. Okay, so I'm going to give it that. I'm going to get a Quick Claw. So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Now, Aggron is going to set up the Sandstorm here. So that was interesting. It's going to be locked into that. Okay, so a bit of it. I didn't expect it to use Sandstorm there. So anyway, it's going to have to swap out there. It's got a choice spec, so it really can't do anything. Now the Rhydon is going to come in and it's going to Lightning Rod my Thunder, which is quite funny because this theme team is basically all based around those sort of things. Now I thought, well, I've used Trick once. Let's use it again. Let's get rid of the Everlight because I know it's going to have Everlight. So I give the Rhydon Quick Claw. You can have the Quick Claw. So I basically like messed up Aggron and I messed up Rhydon. So that was really cool. Okay, so now it's going to go for the Rock Polish. It's going to be like I'd say it's going to be a physical sweeping set. Now, here I can go for Ominous Wind or I can go for anything. But it went for the Earthquake. Maybe expecting me to swap into something else. I'm not too sure. I just went for Ominous Wind there to see if I get a boost, but I didn't. Okay. So thinking, should I swap now or what should I do? Rhydon's going to go for the Stone Edge there, and that's going to take me out there with the crit. I don't think that mattered. Normal Rotom is pretty... its defenses aren't the greatest in the world. So swapping in, Seeking, I've got Hydro Pump on this to deal with this. I've got Blizzard, I've got Hidden Power Grass. Like 3 of my moves can absolutely wreck this thing. I knew that it wasn't going to stay in. Okay, so we have the Poliwrath coming in here. I'm going to go for Hydro Pump. It actually isn't Water Absorb, which was would have been quite funny too. Okay, so that does a decent damage, I guess, considering. Now, I had thought I could go for the Hidden Power Grass here. It's going to go for Focus Blast, so it's a special Poliwrath there. Does a crap load of damage to me and drops my special defense. And it's got the Life Orb there too. So that was, well, that sucked. So going for the Hidden Power Grass there doesn't really do too much. It's a Seeking. I was hoping, I was like, it's probably going to hit again, so let's swap out into Lantern and see what this does. Hoping just to scare them off with an electric type move. So Focus Blast hits again, does a crap load of damage there, just over half my health. I do have leftovers on this set, so it's going to be a 3-hit KO. Now I thought I could go for a T-Wave here and just trap it in and get rid of it. Now it's going to go for Psychic. That's definitely not going to be enough to take me out. I was expecting a special defense drop there. I won't even lie. Probably going for the accuracy instead there. Alright, so I got the Thunder Wave off. That's good. Here I thought, well, I could go for Confuse Ray, just hit itself with Confusion and get rid of it. Unfortunately, the thing was, with this team, I wasn't actually carrying an electric type move. That was the whole... that was the thing that made it quite hard, but it was a very particular set. Okay, so I've got the Parafusion happening. I could have gone for Whirlpool there, but I thought this would be better. It would be a better chance of it not attacking. And it gets through, of course it does. And it goes for Focus Blast, and it takes me out. Okay, so that's my Lantern down. Best luck 2017 there. Okay, so it's only got a smidgen of health left. I can take this out basically with my dick, and I'd swap in my Maractus here. So, I'm going to go for the... I think I went for the... What was it? The Acupressure. I nearly forgot what that move was. So, I'm going to go for Acupressure on the swap here, and the Rapidash is going to come in. Now, I'll get the special defense boost there. I was hoping it would be a special Rapidash, but it's going to be the physical type. I was betting on it being a Fire Blast, and it's going to absolutely wreck Maractus. Don't you worry though, Maractus makes a big turn in the bloopers. You guys better stick around and watch that. It's very funny. All right, swapping and seeking now. If it's going to go for a wild charge, I'm going to get a lightning rod, which would be beautiful. But they're probably going to predict that one. I get a swap anyway, so the end goal was pretty good. All right, so we have Ampharos coming in here. So I was like, okay, it's probably going to go for an electric type move here. So going for Hydro Pump does a crap load of damage. I'm running Modest Nature on this. I outspeed and go for another Hydro Pump here. So it does a lot of damage there. The Ampharos is going to eat a Citrus Berry there, and that's going to be enough probably to live another Hydro Pump. All right, so it's going to go for a Charge Beam and give me a Lightning Rod boost. Thanks, babe. Going for the mighty Signal Beam spin out here. I've got the +1 in Charge Beam, so this is going to be enough to hopefully take it out. Ampharos has naturally good special defense too. After I got that boost, that's why I thought it'd be good to go for this instead. Okay, I really do like the animation of this too, and this is like the only. I think this is like the only bug move that could other than Hidden Tower Bug, I guess. All right, so it's just enough to take out the Ampharos hype, and that is down. So I'm actually. That's actually the first Pokemon I've taken out on this side of the team. Alright, so Rapidash is going to come in and use the Flare Blitz here. Even though I'm going to resist that, I am on a small amount of health, and that's going to be able to take my Seeking out. So I'm actually 5-2 down at the moment, so things are not looking... They're not looking too hot at all. I know there's a Rapidash on the field, but it really wasn't looking too hot. Oh, look, a heap more as well. Okay, so I've got Sucker Punch in this. I thought I could get around that. Or I could go for the Low Kick, expecting the Rhydon swap in, which I did. Sunny Jim, you were going to go down. Without the Everlight, it's not going to be very, very bulky there. So I'm going to be able to take it out with 2 hits. Since it doesn't have the Rock Polish up, I'm going to be able to outspeed it there too, running max attack and max speed on this thing. So Rhydon goes down like a sack of potatoes. Now we have the Rapidash coming back in here. I thought it might go for something like Wild Charge, because that's like the only move that can, or Low Kick. That's generally the only like probably physical moves that can hit me with. It's going to take a bit of recoil. I'm going to go for the Low Kick again there. So Heatmore being MVP at the moment, getting me back into this game. So there is 3 Pokemon left. I do have 2 remaining. Now we have the Charizard here. Now I kind of nearly swapped into the Charizard, the Miltank after this, but I thought, no, I'll stay in and actually get a Flash Fire then. So that was interesting. I'm not sure. Maybe they expected to swap there. I'm not too sure. Okay, anyways, the Charizard is going to swap out, which is interesting because it can carry Air Slash, but maybe it didn't have that. Maybe it was Specs or something. I wasn't too sure. All right, so going for the Low Kick. Aggron just lived that one, and it's going to be able to get the Rock Slide off, which is most certainly going to take me out there. So the last Pokemon is the Miltank. Heatmore doing a wonderful job there, getting me back into this battle. And now I've got the Miltank here. This is the Facade set. Toxic Orb, Sap Sipper. Going for the Power Up Punch here, and that's going to be enough to take out the Aggron, giving me a +1 in attack there. And with the Toxic Orb up, it's going to be hitting really, really hard. Even without it, it hits like really, really hard. Okay, so the last Pokemon is the, after the Charizard, is the Poliwrath, which is on no health, so I know I'll be able to get around that. I'm actually going to outspeed the Charizard here with the Jolly Nature, and that's definitely going to take the Charizard up. The last Pokemon is the Poliwrath, which is on a little bit of health from earlier on in the battle, so basically I can take this out with anything. Okay, and that's about it for this game. I hope you guys enjoyed both these battles. Got some very funny bloopers coming up. Hope you stick around and watch these. And it's 3 o'clock. I'm ready for bed, guys. Peace out. Do 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 do.